Now, Rami Mortضى is Lebanon's ambassador to the UK, and he is here on set. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I guess I want to ask you, as the representative of the sovereign government of Lebanon, what you make of the Prime Minister of another country urging your people essentially to shake off Hezbollah?
Well, this is cynical propaganda. I think it will fall on the dead bodies that he killed, more than 2,000 in the last 2 weeks. It will fall on the demolished hospitals that he ordered the demolishment. It will fall on the 1.2 displaced that he made sure that they would be displaced. It will fall on the humanitarian crisis that he's causing in the country and the immense pain and killing. This is cynical propaganda, and I think the Lebanese still have in mind the successive wars that Israel launched against Lebanon and the suffering that it has caused.
You've heard, and I'm sure you know her, your counterpart here from Israel, Ambassador Levy, has said on the radio that from Israel that this is an opportunity to remake and reshape the Middle East. Would you welcome that? I mean, let's face it, your country appears to be essentially held hostage by a militia. I mean, your army is not in power, your government has not been able, or they haven't been able to elect a president because of opposition from Hezbollah. Do you feel that there needs to be a moment where you, as a sovereign people, are enabled to take back control, so to speak?
Well, definitely, there needs to be reshaping of the Middle East and of Lebanon, but this has to be homegrown. This needs to become from within, from Lebanon. There is a will for change, for reform in Lebanon that is in the making, but it will definitely not come from the Israelis. And I think the Middle East that the Israelis want to show, they're not hiding it. They showed it on the map that Netanyahu showed at the UN General Assembly, the evil and the blessing. They want a Middle East free from a Palestinian state. They want a Middle East where Israel would have the supremacy. And this is a delusional goal. I think the Middle East we want to see is a Middle East of peace, a Middle East of opportunities, a Middle East of economic growth. That's the Middle East we want to see. And unless and until there is peace and real peace, there is no way that the Middle East could be reshaped. And Israel stands today with the current government as opposite to any prospect for peace. And I think that partly explains why they're exporting the conflict towards new frontiers to distract attention of the fact that this current government in Israel is sterile, is unable to deliver any plan for peace or any strategy. The only strategy is a forever war strategy.
So they say, I mean, there are a lot, even their American backers will say, what is the exit strategy? Where is the political strategy that this military strategy would back up? So a lot of people believe that there should be some kind of stated political objective for Gaza. But they will also say, and this is their term, that there is a ring of fire around Israel. And let's just take from your country, Hezbollah, which, as you know, started firing into Israel on October 8th, a year ago, in support of Hamas. It was, at that point, an unprovoked attack, and it has caused casualties, and they are still firing into certain places, including today. Do you feel, again, that you are disempowered? Okay, there's a big political issue in the Middle East, but you have a group that you haven't been able to control. It's not your army, right? And so Hezbollah is doing this and wreaking or bringing down what Netanyahu admitted himself, the potential Gazification of Lebanon. He said it.
Well, the Israelis are good at taking a snapshot date or
no, but
a
this
snapshot
is serious.
event. I know. I'll answer your question.
Why did Hezbollah feel that it had to put Lebanon at risk by... It felt that it was able to, right?
We as Lebanese government were not part of this decision-making. But Hezbollah would tell you that they were trying to play out the cost-profit equation for the Israelis, to hold them back and to stop them from committing the crimes that they ended up committing in Gaza. But again, we in the Lebanese government were not part of the decision-making of what happened on the 8th of October. But things come in a context in this region. It's not that the Israelis, they're always good at taking a snapshot event or a snapshot date and acting as if history started on that date. Prior to October the 8th, the Israelis were occupying and still occupy part of our land. They were undertaking daily incursions of our airspace. It's not that it is a snapshot moment that anything matters only on October the 8th. And yet, we have said since the early beginning, we want a sustainable solution for the situation in South Lebanon. We have all the ingredients for that. We have a UN Security Council resolution that can address all the concerns. We have a UN peacekeeping force, and we would be ready to address all the concerns as long as our concerns are also addressed. It should be symmetrical. And unless and until it is symmetrical, there is no way that any arrangement could work. Security is based on mutual security.
How do you do it? Because, you know, there was a resolution, 1701, after the 2006 war, and it hasn't really, I mean, they haven't pushed back, and you haven't been able to enforce, right, pushing Hezbollah back 20, 30 kilometers behind the Litani River.
That's what I said.
Right. But so who's going to do that? Who is going to do that?
That's what I said. It should have been symmetrical. Mm-hmm. The Israelis never observed 1701. Since 1701, I think they had 35,000 incursions into our sovereign airspace.
So you made that point.
They continued to occupy parts of our territory. What we're saying today is that we put all these elements together and address them and come up with a solution that addresses all concerns.
But do you think that what you're saying is falling on receptive ears in Israel or in the United States? Because we saw the deputy leader, I think that's who he is, of Hezbollah, say yesterday that they would be willing, they talked about a ceasefire.
Yeah.
But hasn't that horse bolted from the barn? I mean, we're talking a huge bombing campaign, ground incursions, potential, I don't know, you tell me, occupation again of southern Lebanon. They've already raised a flag in one of those villages in southern Lebanon, the Israelis. They've expanded the air campaign.
Yeah, they've tried occupation before, and we saw the results.
Right now, what is happening right now on the ground?
Well, it's a full-scale war, sparing no civilian lives, sparing no hospitals, sparing no medical teams, sparing no support teams. It's a full-scale war. And besides being brutal and violent, this war is really unnecessary because countries go to war because they want to impose a post-war arrangement, except that this time the arrangement exists under the form of a Security Council resolution, again, 1701. I know that the Israelis belittle this resolution, but this resolution worked well, notwithstanding the violations from the Israeli side. Since 2006 up until October 2023, the Lebanese borders in the south were among the calmest in the region. And everyone from our side held back, and we fully observed, of course, there is always room to do better. But as I said, security is based on mutual